What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I got some more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. They come straight from an interview from Hirano-San himself. If you want to watch that, I will link it in the description below. By the way, if you do watch it, make sure you turn on your subtitles, because the way they did it is they have Hirano-San talking, and then they have the translations actively through subtitles. So make sure you have that on before you watch that interview. But I'll go ahead and just kind of highlight everything that was talked about. So without further ado, let's talk about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 stuff from Japan Expo. So first things first, the question was brought up if we'll be able to change stuff in the actual story. So of course they can't go into detail yet. They want to kind of keep it a surprise. But an interesting thing that Hirano-san did mention was the fact that there is some kind of new game plus. I don't really know what he means by this, but he said that after you complete the game, you can come back and kind of have different outcomes to the story. So to me, it sounds like New Game Plus, but the question is how different can it be? I mean, I know Xenoverse 1 had two endings. It had a regular ending, then it had a true ending, which features basically you just finishing off Demigra. But as far as what they plan on doing this time around, I honestly don't know. What do you think is going to happen with that? Do you think we'll be able to actually change stuff around where it's drastically, or do you think that it's referring to more of that kind of double ending type of thing? Let me know your thoughts in that in the comment section below. Now, the next question was, and this is the interesting part, everything that they answered in this interview, they mentioned again with the whole fan feedback. And as I told you guys many times over the course of the last couple months, they are really focused on listening to us in terms of what we as the fans want, because they want us to play Xenoverse 2 for a long time. In fact, one of the questions that was tossed out in this interview is, what are your plans for Xenoverse 3? To which Hirano-san himself said, I want everybody to focus on playing Xenoverse 2 for a very long time. Xenoverse 3 will probably happen within time, but it won't be as fast as Xenoverse 2 came out compared to Xenoverse 1. So for now, their big focus is Xenoverse 2, and they want to change and alter gameplay over the course of the next year or so once the game comes out. So that's really cool that they're listening. But the question that I'm talking about right now is, will there be giants in the game? And unfortunately, according to Hirano-san, there's no plans of playable giants in the game, which I guess shoots down giant Namekians. To those who don't know, Lord Slug is able to transform into a giant Namekian, and we saw Piccolo do it as well. And a lot of us theorize that one of the super forms, which we'll talk about in a couple seconds, for the Namekians will allow you to transform into a larger Namekian. But according to Hirano-san, there's no giant playable characters, and I don't know if that refers to giant Namekians as well, or if it's just referring to as just the great apes. However, he did note if there's enough fan requests, and they're going to work on creating a platform that allows us to send them feedback directly. If there's enough fan requests, they will consider adding giants at some point through DLC, whether it's paid DLC or free DLC or whatever. But they will take basically our consideration, they will take our feedback and consider it as part of a future release to make the game better. So to those who really want giants, if you really wanted, when Xenoverse 2 comes out, this is going to be your chance to actually speak out and try to get that feedback across, because I know a lot of you guys wanted it in the last game, so we'll see what happens there. Now, the next question was talking about what the focus is, or I guess what's the big difference this time around as opposed to Xenoverse 1, to which Hirano-san talked about how the big focus was working on the custom created characters. They want to make them better. As you guys already know, or in case you might not know, there are no new races added to the game. It's still the same five. It's got humans, Namekians, Frieza, Saiyans, and the Majin race. And the big focus was allowing you to have more customizations, more attacks, more costumes, and they now introduce one of the new features called Awaken, which you guys saw in my gameplay a couple weeks ago. Now, at the time when I recorded it, I was only able to see what the Awakening is like for the Saiyan race as well as Goku. And basically, as you're powering up and get more ki, your transformation slot changes from like Super Saiyan 1 to the Awakening to Super Saiyan 3. Basically, what Awaken is allows you to access multiple transformations, and according to Hirano-san in this interview, every race has multiple forms of transformations. Now, I don't know if he literally means every single race, or if he's just referring to as many, there's many transformations overall, because he did just say, like the Frieza can go golden, but he didn't specify whether or not he can transform or go in the buff form. He did mention that, like the Saiyans, for example, can go Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, but they didn't say anything about what forms are available for every single race. As you guys already know, the other day we got a showcase of the Saiyan race, the Majin race, and of course the Frieza race being able to go gold and become the Kid Buu form for the Majin race, but there's no details on what else is available. And I guess at this point, all we can do is just kind of wait to see what else they have planned for us. Now, they were finally able to address the big question. The cool thing about Japan Expo is we're so deep into the promo of the game that a lot of questions that was asked in this interview, they're actually able to answer. When I went to E3, they literally told me no to everything. Like, I mean, I know I had my interview that I tossed up, but we had a chance to talk about it prior to recording it, and pretty much, I wasn't allowed to ask anything just because it was so early to the announcement. But now that we're in Japan Expo, we got, a couple of months since the game was announced, they're able to reveal a lot more, and the big question that was tossed out in this interview is whether or not they plan on implementing Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue, to which he sadly said it's not planned as of right now due to the fact that he doesn't know how to balance it. As of right now, from the looks of it, Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 is kind of the max for the Saiyan race. However, and again, this is the most important part, however, if there's enough fan feedback, they said they will consider it and they'll figure out how to balance it out in the future. So again, if you guys really want Super Saiyan God, because I know I definitely want it, this is going to be our chance to kind of put the feedback out there and make sure that they release it at some point in the future. And again, this game has a lot of free DLC planned, so don't assume that this is going to be like require us to pay it. Because when this game comes out, they're going to work on paid DLC, which we know right now is going to be 4 DLC packs. And then they also plan on implementing free DLC as well, just to keep the game alive, because they know that if they support the game long enough, it's going to live for a long time. I mean, Xenoverse 1 lasted for a very long time, considering the fact that it came out a year and a half ago now. And they know that if they invest their time into the post-release strategy, this game could last even longer than Xenoverse 1 did. So with that said, if you guys really want all these updates and stuff, once this platform goes live, that allows us to send them feedback directly, and of course, I'll do my best to send feedback as well. Now make sure you guys go crazy. Like, tell them everything that you want to see in this game. And it's funny because earlier today I made a video talking about costume requests that I want to see. Because from what we saw in the past couple days, they revealed a couple of screenshots with the Time Patrollers that showed off like a Cell costume. We saw a new wig that looks like to be a Super Saiyan 4 wig, or it might actually be Yajirobe as well. I can't really tell what that is. But the point is, there's a lot of stuff being planned, and the more stuff that we want, the more they will listen, the more that they will get back to us. Now, obviously, they can't, listen to every single piece of feedback. There's going to be a lot of stuff sent their way, but they will at least do their best to listen to the majority and try to give the majority out. So with that said, when Xenoverse 2 comes out, remember, you want to send them that feedback. You want, like I said, I will send them my feedback in my videos. I will, talk to them directly. When they launch that platform, I will tell you guys how you can send feedback yourself. And we'll make sure that Xenoverse 2 is exactly what we want as fans. And so far, from playing it, I'm actually happy at the direction this game took. They listened to a lot, they removed the Super Saiyan spam, stuff like that, and the game just feels great. So with that said, when Xenoverse 2 comes out, we have the power to control it, of how long it's going to last. And it's important that we get that feedback across with stuff that we see in the game as we play it, essentially. Another question that was tossed out is how far they plan on going into the story. And specifically, the question was, we'll be able to live through the Dragon Ball world as well as go as far as Dragon Ball Super. Now, right off the bat, again, just like in Xenoverse 1, Hirano-San immediately said that there's no plans for the childhood of Goku or any Dragon Ball related stuff. But again, that could change in the future. It could be DLC, who knows. But the big focus of their DLC seems to be Dragon Ball Super. They once again reiterated the fact that once they were pretty much done mapping out Xenoverse 2, that's when Super started airing. And once Super started airing, they couldn't really just kind of go back on their plans. It would have caused like a major delay in the game and stuff like that. And they kind of just wanted to get this game out. So as far as DLC, I'm just going to go ahead and theorize, and it's just a theory, that everything that we see as far as DLC is going to be related to Dragon Ball Super. The tournament, the future Trunks, Goku Black stuff, all that stuff, I assume it's going to be DLC. Now, of course, when I get information in regards to what the DLC is going to be, I'll let you guys know individually as I find out. So make sure you stay tuned to this channel, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. But that's kind of the plan for that. Now, a really interesting question was tossed out. Since a lot of people bought DLC for Xenoverse 1, what did they plan on doing with those characters and costumes? Now, obviously, they don't plan on implementing the same story from DLC 1, 2, and 3 from Xenoverse 1 in Xenoverse 2, but they did say that everything that we got in Xenoverse 1 DLC, like stuff like the GT characters, the Super Saiyan God, Goku Vegeta, as well as Golden Frieza and costumes, will be available day 1 in the game. So we don't have to buy that again, which is good news, obviously. I mean, I know it's kind of weird to say that, but it was a question that popped up a lot. So to those who think you have to buy it again, you don't. And if you didn't get DLC 1 or 2 or 3 in Xenoverse 1, don't worry about it. Essentially what they're saying is everything that was released as DLC is already part of the main day 1 edition of the game. So that's good news. We don't have to rebuy it again. So it looks like the entire focus of DLC 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Xenoverse 2 is going to be new stuff, and we don't have to buy anything old again that was released before. So yeah. One final thing that was mentioned in the interview, they talked about Kantan City and basically what the involvement is. And again, Hirano-san mentioned that he wants players to have fun in the hub. I mean, Toki Toki City was pretty lame, let's be honest. Like, you just kind of log in and then you go to the offline battle lobby or the parallel quest or the online battle lobby. That's about it. Walking around Toki Toki City was not fun, at least I don't like it. So what they plan on doing this time around is they made it 7 times bigger, which you guys already know, and they're adding a lot of stuff that's going to be fun. Also, the important thing that was mentioned in this interview is there's a place for every single race. Like, for example, they mentioned that Namekians, well, not necessarily Namekians, but you can go to play Namek. And from the sounds of it, every single race will have a place that they can go to that's kind of like their own place. Now, they didn't specify what's available for humans, Saiyans, Majins, and the Frieza race. Well, Frieza race we know has, Frieza's spaceship, and the Namekians can go to play on Namek. But it's cool to see that they kind of made it more about all the other races as opposed to just one. Because if you guys remember, in Xenoverse 1, it felt like there was more bias towards the Saiyan race. I mean, the Saiyans got transformations, and it felt like they favored that race over everything. But looks like this time around, they're favoriting every race in a more equal, balanced way from the looks of it. So that's cool stuff. But yeah, what do you guys think? Based on everything we talked about, let me know your thoughts and everything in the comment section below. And of course, if you have any feedback, this is your chance to kind of drop it down below, because I'll make sure to read it. And I've been actively sending the feedback. In fact, like literally like a week ago, I sent Bandai US a big spreadsheet of stuff that I know we as the fans have won. It's kind of like stuff I gathered over the course of last year in regards to changes, like stuff like increasing the time limit, for example. So that's being sent to them, and they're actually listening, and they're going to like implement a lot of the stuff that was sent over. So again, if there's something that Xenoverse 2 does not have that you personally are going to be offended about, remember, it's not about just walking away and saying that's it, this game sucks. It's feedback. Like, we gotta tell them that we want this, we want XYZ, and we'll get XYZ. So again, once that platform is live that they talked about where you can send feedback, I will let you guys know how to use it and all that good stuff. But for now, I'll do my best to send any feedback that I see from the comment section and the tweets and the internet comments I read everywhere, like on Reddit and stuff like that. I'll do my best to send that over to them so they know what we as fans want. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts and everything we discussed in the comment section below. And I guess the theory now I want to toss out there is what will the human race and the Namekian race get in regards to transformations? Because honestly, I'm kind of shocked, because seeing Lord Slug in the game made me think, okay, well, if they're adding Slug, then that means, that's obviously going to be giant forms, or maybe I guess Super Namekian is still a thing that could happen for the Namekian race. But either way, I was kind of thrown up by that. So yeah, so let me know your thoughts and everything that was discussed. And again, if you want to see the interview for yourself, I will link it in the description below. Just remember to turn on your subtitles so you can see what Hirano-San is saying. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. My name is Rhymestyle, and I'll see all you awesome Super Sandwiches in the comment section below. Peace.